you're sharing this stat a lot, that 1 in 10 cafes closed last year.
The value that hospitality businesses bring to their community. I mean, imagine a town with no cafes.
Wow.
I want to get away from the overwhelm of everything that there is to do and just strip it back to running a healthy, profitable business. And that's why I'm so passionate about working with cafe owners now, and especially people new to the industry or early in their years. I just made every single mistake humanly possible.
You're tuning in to Provisions, a God-given talent original providing real hospitality insights from real hospitality people. Now, I'm no expert, but I'm joined with Amelia Hicks, CEO and co-founder of Old Quarter Coffee Merchants, and we're here in the warehouse at Ballina. For those who don't know the Old Quarter story, when did it first start?
So thank you for having me. When did we start? We had the idea, I think, in 2015, and I think we earned our first dollar in 2017. So we sold our first coffee out of the Ballina shed with a little 2 group on a bar that our friend made, 5 kilo roaster down the back, and 700 kilos that we imported ourselves from farmers Pat and Tam in Vietnam that we still work with today. So it's pretty cool having you in here.
This is not that original shed.
No, this is 300 square meters around the corner, which, houses all of the green bean that we import ourselves from smallholder farmers across Asia. And then we roast here, fulfill to all our wholesale customers and to our own cafes as well, our 4 cafes.
Oh, it's great. So, primarily what Old Quarter is known for is that you work with coffee roasters in Southeast Asia. First starting in Vietnam, I guess that's where the name Old Quarter came from, Old Quarter in Hanoi.
Yes.
And I actually want to go back to that part when you said when you made your first dollar. What was that feeling like, if you remember it?
Oh my goodness. I remember so many things. Very, very exciting. I mean, you're right. So I guess just to answer that question in case I didn't. So we do import from only Asia, exclusively Asian coffees, and we've started with that one relationship and one farmer, and then have grown to import from 7 countries. But each of those is at one relationship.
Great.
So, smallholder farmers, direct to family, direct to household, and then we work with some co-ops as well, but we do all the import ourselves. So back then, when we earned that first dollar, we thought we would import green bean and just kind of sell it. We didn't have that much of a plan, but we got this location and we thought, we'll just put a coffee machine on the bar so then we can sell cups of coffee and people can try it. And then next minute we thought, maybe we'll sell to local grocery stores because we'll just try and get some cash. Maybe we should try and sell the coffee to a wholesale customer, value add, like how much green bean, and it just evolved from there. Didn't have a plan. And that's why I'm so passionate about working with cafe owners now, and especially people new to the industry or early in their years. Sometimes they've been in the industry for a while, but I just made every single mistake humanly possible.
I love it.
So I feel like I've got something to share now.
I find most, particularly in hospo, probably in all businesses though, when they jump into it, they don't really go in with a big plan, a very vague plan.
Bit vague.
But driven by so much passion to do something. And what was it that drove you to start Old Quarter?
Yeah, it sounds cliche, but we just really wanted to do something that would have impact. And we really wanted to stay connected to Asia, particularly Vietnam. It was the first place we ever visited as young people. Yost was 15, and I always joked that he was like in his 90s outfit with his cargo pants, and it shaped who we wanted to be, and the people that we had become, and the values of community and all those things really just resonated with us. And when we were so ready to do something different and start something on our own, coffee became the thing. And then luckily we didn't know enough about specialty coffee, about the industry. So we just did what we know, and we'd had, more than a decade of experience there. Yosa's first experience of coffee farmers was like Robusta farmers in like 2015, I think, riding through on motorbikes. So it just felt really real to us, and we understood, the challenges that smallholder farmers, and we just thought, man, if we can go direct, if we can pay farmers fairly, and if we can cut out everybody else and do that work, then they'll benefit, we'll benefit, and we'll have this unique product. And that was about it. Didn't know anything about finances. Didn't know anything about managing the cash flow for a green bean company. Nearly quit, nearly went under, cried myself to sleep so many times.
Wow, at least you're honest.
Yeah, I know. I'm always come across as this ultimate optimist. I did an interview this week and then I forgot to say, but I did want to run away. Like I did feel trapped in my own business. I did cry myself to sleep, because it is hard, and you're right. A lot of people don't have a plan. The great news is though, with a plan, you can succeed. Yeah.
I guess that's what we love to talk a bit more about today.
Yeah.
Just for those who don't know, well, you've just shared a little bit about your story, but why does your perspective matter in this topic of business?
Yeah.
Because I guess you get to see things a bit more broader than just here's a coffee bean and now the barista makes a coffee. You're going as far back to the original producer of that bean, roasting it yourself and doing all that. So there's a big supply chain that a lot of people aren't probably aware of.
Yeah, absolutely. I guess sharing directly for like cafe owners, for hospitality people, we do have a unique insight in that we run our own cafes and we work with wholesale partners. So I get to make this distinction or sort of connection between all the mistakes that I made and then some of the ones that I see, the exact same ones that I see people making today. But it's so much more difficult now than it was like 10 years ago when we started. So I feel we do have so much insight into the overall supply chain, but I think the pain point right now really is in the cafe world. And I shudder because I don't want to come across like I know everything, but I have been in the trenches. When we started, as I mentioned, it's great looking where we've come, but we had one unprofitable cafe that was generating most of the revenue, and it was at 50% COGS. It was brutal, and I did not know how to fix it because I'm trying to do everything else and do that. But now we scaled to 4 profitable cafes doing great revenue, and there is a system and there is a process. There's a structure to winning in the hospitality game, but it does take working on the business, not just in it, and it really takes a mindset shift, and it takes relentless work. I would say, there's so many things I want to say, but or maybe I should just shut up. That's why I think my perspective is maybe could help a few people. That's all I want to do,
Well, we'll get to what those systems are.
Yeah.
But if we just identify just a common pain point or something that's actually happening, and I've seen you do your Instagram posts and you're sharing this stat a lot, that 1 in 10 cafes closed last year. And from your perspective, like, why has that happened?
Yeah, like how do we not become a statistic, right? Yeah. I like to think of it as mindset and then what to do. This is the mindset that I think is really common, and it's one that I shared as well. We can't hustle and save our way out of these challenges. The answer is not working harder in your business. 100%. There's a time where you do 7 days a week, where you do 60 hours, where you do 80 hours, where you never get a break. And, because a lot of people don't start with a huge amount of cash flow or any experience. But at the end of the day, there's a principle about leverage. and doing the $1,000 task or doing the $40 task. And when I realized that, that's when everything changed, because we are operating in chaos every single day. It's hard to think, how does this one change, like do something over a year, right? And so, but then, I do the maths all the time, and I try to show hospitality people, say you cover yourself for 2 hours a week, it costs you $80, but you spend that, and I think it's like $4,000 or something it ends up costing the business, right? But you spend that 2 hours working on something that's going to generate thousands. And the place that I always start is cost of goods, right? It's an area that just keeps increasing the busier you get. So if you don't have good systems to manage your cogs, it's a problem, right? So if you're a $500,000 business, which most people are, 10 grand a week, $500,000, if you save 5%, it works out being 25 grand.
Wow.
And a lot of people's cogs are closer to 35 when they want to be 25. And you can't do that if you keep sweeping the floor and closing. So I would say one of the biggest mindset shifts is working on the business and not in it. And that's difficult to do when the challenges just keep coming. There's a couple of other ones. I think another big one for me was realizing that you can't fix it once. I thought, I've got it now and I've done it. And then the next cost increase comes or something slips through. And so what I really coach, like the people that I'm working with, is it's every day or every week. It's not the bookkeeper's job to manage your business's finance. The bookkeeper puts things in the right codes and sends you a report, but you are in control of managing those costs. And it's so incredibly empowering and gives you so much hope, because what's happening at the moment is most cafe owners are getting their report from their bookkeeper or their accountant 2 weeks after the month ends, and you can't do anything. But what you don't track, you can't manage. And so this is an industry where, we're serving 300 people a day and thousands of people a week. That's 1,000 times that things can go terribly. You know, that's 1,000 times that someone can put 10% more scrambled eggs on there than they should. And that adds up over a year. So unless you're onto that, I would say daily if you're a restaurant or a food business, or weekly if you're a much more simple operation, you can't get ahead. So working on the business and not just in it, and understanding that is your role and that it doesn't stop. Those were the two big shifts in my mind. And then I had to learn how to do it. Yeah. What to focus on. And that's another piece. Yeah.
I guess mindset is the best start in place. That needs to change, because then you won't actually achieve the how.
Yeah, exactly.